All right, Shalom. First and foremost, before I get started, I want to give all praises, all glory, all honor to the Heavenly Father Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well, and sincerely taught us his truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Right, this your brother Thabo A'a coming back to you with another lesson in the spirit and power of Yahweh. Hashem Yahweh Shai, and this lesson is going to be titled, A Man Can Have More Than One Wife. Right? I repeat, a man can have more than one wife. Right? And what inspired me through this lesson is this article that I'm going to play to you on, a woman, stabbing her boyfriend because he cheated on her. And this is why the society is all these. Well, the woman in this really it's the man and woman. But I'm speaking on the woman right now. That the women in this society, they think they have so much power. They think they're equal with the man. They think they're equal with the man. They think they think that they're on the same level as a man. They think they have more authority than a man. You see, and this is what Esau, right, which is that's the so-called white man, right? This is what he pushes. He pushes that feminism. You see, and that's why you look in the society, these women have more rights. And I don't want to start too much off the topic, but it's just giving you a brief description. These women think they have some type of power, man. That's why you see certain things ultimately you see this happening right here. A woman killing her boyfriend for cheating. You see? And you have some particular woman. Hey, I mean, it wasn't okay that you stabbed him for cheating, but he shouldn't. And then you have some woman say, well, you shouldn't be cheating in the first place. When these women have no type of understanding. The scriptures talk about how the Lord deprived the woman from wisdom. You see, roughly paraphrasing it. So these women don't have the true understanding that a man cannot cheat. A man cannot cheat. There's no such thing as cheating. Now, there's something called committing adultery, but was the man in wrong if he if he laid with another woman who wasn't together or with another man, right? He's not going off if he's doing that. You see? But a woman cannot do that with a man. See, a woman was only to abide with one man, and a man was allowed to have multiple women. But to get to that point, what I said before, there's no such thing as cheating. There's something called committing adultery, and that's a man sleeping with another woman's wife, and that's a woman sleeping with another man's wife. Wait. No, Salaka, that's a woman. Hold on, how you say it? That's a woman. No, that's a woman sleeping. Oh, okay, Salaka. That's adultery is a man sleeping with Salaka. Adultery is a man sleeping with another a man sleeping with another man's wife, and a woman sleeping with another dude. You see? A woman sleeping with another guy, right, while she is married. That's adultery. You see? So there's no such thing as cheating. And that boyfriend and girlfriend title, that's all out the window too. There's no such thing as a boyfriend and girlfriend. You see? According to Genesis, the 2nd chapter, in the 24th verse, it says, therefore shall a man leave his father and mother and shall cleave unto his wife. It doesn't say shall a man leave his father and mother and start dating his girlfriend. Does it say that? No, I don't say that shit. And this is why the society is fucked up, man. This whole society's fucked up, but so it's just giving you the brief description on. There's no such thing as cheating, first of all, and there's no such thing as a boyfriend and a girlfriend, right? Now I'm gonna get to the point. It says 22-year-old Shatira Johnson is accused of stabbing her and killing her boyfriend. The two share children. Prosecutors say Johnson stabbed the victim of cheating on her. Now, was the man cheating? No. The man was not cheating. Like I stated before, just a little bit ago. If the woman wasn't, you know, as you could say, dealing in a sense with another man, right? You know, she said she had no man. What's on not? He was allowed to deal with her if he wanted to. You see? And that's not going off according to the scriptures, because you got a lot of bitch ass Christians who will come on your comment board and say, no, that's forbidden, that's unlawful for a man to have multiple wives. Nigga, no, it ain't. And it just shows the lack of understanding that these bitch ass Christians have too, and IUIC, because IUIC teaches that a man can only have one wife, and you niggas is going off too. You see? And we're gonna get into let's first, let's do this, right? Let's do this. Let's go right here, and it says, and I looked up in ancient Israel, men took on multiple wives, right? I looked it up, and it says yes, men in ancient Israel took on multiple wives as sanctioned by both biblical and rabbinic law. The Old Testament permitted polygamy, and that's not what it's called. It's not called polygamy, whatever, however you say it, right? In certain circumstances, such as when married man died with, let's get out of there. But let's get to the point though. It says Abraham had multiple wives and concubines. So a lot of you Christians like to say, well, Abraham this, Abraham that, Abraham this. Abraham multiple wives, right? And concubines, which a concubine, we're going to get into the word concubine. It's a lesser wife. It says Jacob had 2 wives. King David had 8 wives. Solomon had 700 wives. Now, were any of these men going off? Was the Lord not dealing with Abraham because he had multiple wives? Was the Lord not dealing with Jacob because he had a couple wives? Now, was the Lord not dealing with King David because he had 8 wives? You see? No, the Lord was still dealing with them, because it is lawful to have multiple wives. You see? Right? Then you go down, it says Jacob, David, Solomon all had multiple wives as well. Solomon had 700 wives and 300 concubines. There are some of the Old Testament's great men of faith. It would appear that at least for a time, the Most High allowed polygamy, and the Lord did not allow polygamy. You see? And this is at least for a time. It is still lawful for a man to have multiple wives. You see? But it says polygamy. Now, I went into that word, looked up polygamy, right? And it says polygamy. I don't know how to say it, but it says is the practice of marrying multiple spouses. When a man is married to more than one wife at a time, it's called polygamy. When a woman is married more than one husband at a time, which that is going off. According to the scriptures, a woman can't have multiple husbands. She only could have one man. You see? A woman can only have one man. So that's why I say polygamy, using the word polygamy, is going off. That poly relation, that's going off. Because it deals with both men and women, when only a man could have multiple wives. You see, now let's go to the scriptures. Let's start with this first one. This is Exodus chapter 21. Let's get the Blue Letter Bible. This is Exodus chapter 21 and verse 15. It says, let's go back down to 10. It says, this is Exodus chapter 21 and verse 10. It says, if he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall not diminish. You see, and what does that word diminish mean? Well, let's get that word diminish. It's gara, and it means diminish, restrain, withdraw, uptake, keep back, do away. You see, so you can't do away with what you already set up first. So if you take, basically what it's saying is, if you take another wife, you can't stop doing what you're doing for the first wife. You can't start loving the wife, the second wife that you take on more than the first wife. But this is showing you right here that a man can take him another wife. Right? This proves it. You see? And if he does not do these 3 unto her, then shall go out free without money. But it's showing you that a man can have another wife, more than one wife. Right? And let's get this in the NLT. It says, if a man who is married, a slave wife, takes another wife for himself, he must not neglect the rights of the first wife for food, clothing, and sexual intimacy. So you gotta provide her with her needs still. You can't just overlook her. You see? And this was a custom. These are one of the customs that men were allowed to do, or according to our law, ultimately, that a man could do. Take him more than another wife. As the men I just showed you, who the Lord was dealing with, they had more than one wife, man. You see? And the Lord does not change, man. Malachi 3:6, I am the Lord and I change not, man. So it's still lawful for a man to have multiple wives. Now, in the time we're in, is it advised for a man to have multiple wives? No, it's not. But it's still lawful though. It's just not expedient. You see? Now this is the case where Solomon, took him wives, right? And I'm gonna get to the point. It says 1 Kings 11:3, and he had 700 wives, princes, and 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart. You see, and Solomon started falling after the other gods of these other nations, the gods of these nations, because of the woman. After the Lord clearly told him not to. You see, deal with them, because this is what they were going to do, turn his mind away from the Lord. You see, but ultimately I wanted to get into this word concubines, because men had concubines back then also. You see, when you go into the word concubine, it means a woman who lives with a man but has lower status than his wife or wives, a mistress. In other senses, what men call concubines nowadays is side bitches. You see, side hoe. They say side bitches, but that's what a concubine was basically, a side bitch. Somebody who's just a lesser wife, but you're still dealing with her. You're still dealing with her. So men had multiple wives and concubines, according to ancient. That was a part of our heritage, our customs. A man having multiple wives, because you got to realize that those studies that were showing that 50 men could literally reproduce a whole population, and that's how powerful the Lord made the man. You see. But and nowadays these women think it's unfair. Oh, you could. How could I talked to I was at my old job, and I was talking to this one guy, and I was like, hey, yeah, yeah, man could have multiple wives. I was just let him know. He was like, what? According to what? And I was like, just according to the Bible, whatnot. And he was like, oh damn, and then I was like, yeah, but then I told him women can't have multiple wives, and he was like, what? Don't you think that's kind of unfair? I'm like, what the fuck is this? So it's just showing you how effeminate these men are, ultimately, and then ultimately how these women, their mindset and what they think, man, and what how their mindset is. A woman stabbing a man because he cheated on her when he didn't do nothing wrong. Ultimately, now if he committed adultery, I mean, he obviously did do something wrong, but ultimately he died. He died because he stabbed. So that was just judgment from the Lord. You see, on both ends, because the woman ended up getting taken to jail for life, going to jail for life, and the man ended up what? Dying. So it just goes to show you that was just judgment from the Lord ultimately. So, but like I said, a man can take him another wife. And that's just how it was in ancient Israel, man. But Yahweh Ratzah, I hope this was edifying. Before I close off, I want to give all praises, all glory, all honor to the Heavenly Father Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash, double honors to the apostles, others, bishops, Grand Millstone, Ruah, teach what peace, citation, overlay. Shalom.